following is a presentation of ComedyVoices.com.
Ha-ha! You know who it is. Sorry to bug you, but you're the one listening, so that's on you. Mark Norman and Joe List here Tuesdays. We got a fun ep coming at ya.
This ep gets real for a few minutes in the middle. If you don't like serious talk, we're going to do it for a few minutes. And don't push the panic button. It's not about politics, you fucking right-wing retards.
That was the critique, by the way.
Oh,
the
yeah,
politics.
well, jeez.
So I got that out.
Well, he's dumb.
Yeah, all right. Well, yeah. Check it out. There's laughs, there's cries, and there's gays. So give it an anal.
All right, have some fun. Bye-bye.
Wee-hoo.
You need something to get you through the workday? Well, good.
Because we've got a place for that.
Check out ComedyVoices.com for the comedy podcasts that'll turn your daily grind into a marathon of laughs. Stand Up Labs and UCB Comedy lead the way.
With an array of shows that'll fill all your comedy needs.
It's ComedyVoices.com, powered by digital media.
Coming to you from the top of the Stand Up New York Comedy Club, this is a Stand Up Labs production, powered by ComedyVoices.com. Find your voice.
Hey, Mark, fake banter for the intro.
That's all I know how to do.
Great.
Good to be here.
Welcome to Tuesdays with
Stories.
Hit her in the face with a surfboard.
And then the duck fell out of his bag.
Surf's up. And she didn't even flush.
Knock, knock.
Who's there? Mark Norman and Joe List.
Yeah! This is Tuesdays with Stories, everybody.
No, that's terrible.
This is supposed to be cheesy.
My radio is spitting at me. I can't choose what I want to say.
Woo! Be you.
No, that's a fake fart. That was my breath. My breath.
Thought it was real.
Maybe that could be a bit. You ever do like a fake fart and people are like, that stinks? I'm like, it was just my mouth. And they're like, I know. That could be something.
Wait, people say that?
No, I'm saying that happened.
Oh.
If that happened. Like your breath stinks.
Oh, the breath.
You know, you do a fart noise and like, that's a what'd you eat?
Uh-huh.
And they're like, no, that wasn't a real fart. And you're like, no, from your mouth.
I thought you were catching him in a lie or something.
No, I don't know about that.
Oh, boy.
Well, we got a lot to get into, boy, oh boy.
Yeah, that was a yes and maybe.
It's the holiday season, brand new year.
Yeehaw.
What, we got a Chipotle card?
How do you feel about these guys with the new year? This year, I'm going to read Tolstoy. Wow, shut up. You would have read it.
Well, that's what's annoying, the gym. I'm enjoying the last... Right now, we're recording this in December. Now it's January 17th or whatever the fuck.
Don't give it away.
Oh, what do you want? I got to be truthful here.
All right.
There's got to be references. They got to notice. I'm gay. Whatever.
Uh-huh. I knew it.
But sometimes I'm enjoying the last few days of no one at the gym because it's December 27th, December 30th. It's quiet there. You're working out. Then January 1st through like the 20th, it's just packed. You can't get on a machine. It's a bunch of fat fucks in there.
Right.
And they're all, trying to figure out how to use the machine. And you can't get a treadmill because there's a bunch of 800-pound dum-dums on there who got a resolution. They're smoking cigarettes and
it's the worst.
But it all fades out. I think that's true if you're in comedy. If you're a booker or you're a manager, you're just getting bombarded with emails.
Right.
Because everyone's like, this is the year, baby.
Right.
And I mean, we've all done it. We do it every year.
Yeah, I always see comics starting out, like you go to when I did the open mics, I'd be like 4 years in January, it'd be like 60 comics. And I'm like, 4 of you will stay.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah, it's like West Point.
West Point.
Yeah, the school, they get like 1,000 people, but then only like 100 graduate or whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's very tough. You got to run and do push-ups, I guess, and study or something.
That's a CrossFit school.
Homework.
I see.
What's that?
School for CrossFit?
I think it's a military school.
Oh, military.
Yeah.
People still do that.
It's in West Point, New York. New York. City's so nice, they named it
twice.
Sure did.
I don't know if they did. I guess they did.
Well, it's New York State
New York. And New York City.
Yeah, New York City's just a nickname. It's not an official name. Isn't that interesting?
No.
Yeah, it's called New York. It's New York, New York. It's not New York City, New York.
Oh, I didn't know
New
that.
York City is a nickname.
Hey, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I never got? Why'd they change it from Kings County and Queens County to Brooklyn? Kings was good.
Yeah, I like Kings County.
Kings and Queens, that's great.
But isn't it still Kings County?
I guess, but no one calls it that.
I think if they do it, they're referring to the county. But Brooklyn is the borough.
Well, we got Queens as a borough. Why'd you keep Queens and not King?
It's a borough and county.
I know, but you keep a queen, you keep the king, too.
But I think it's still Kings County. I don't think it was ever called Kings.
The
borough was Brooklyn.
All right.
It's been Brooklyn since the 1800s.
Well, is it Queens County?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so why can't we go Kings?
It is Kings County.
But I mean, why is it Queens County, but not, and also Queens? You see what I'm saying?
Well, one borough is called Queens, and it's in Queens County. The other borough is called Brooklyn, and it's in Kings County.
That seems kooky.
It's kooky, but
All right.
what are you going to do?
I just want an admission of kook.
It's kooky. Of course
All
it's
right.
kooky. You think I'm not denying the kook.
It felt like a kook denial.
No, I'm just saying that Brooklyn was always Brooklyn. It wasn't at any point Kings.
It just seems odd. To have a Queens County, you call it Queens, and a Kings County, you call it Brooklyn.
For sure.
All right.
What I'm saying is it's kooky, and you have your facts a little mixed for a moment. Both things are true.
Well, I never. How dare you?
How about this, Mark? I got a
Please,
couple of things
lay
I
it
want to
on
talk
me
about.
there,
This
Fatty.
was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Oh, boy.
Now, I know you're over there thinking, here comes Joe with this hyperbole
Yeah,
and the funniest and the biggest and the best and the blackest and the gayest and the silliest.
Sure.
It's all est with me.
Uh-huh.
But this really is
The illest,
one
the
of the
realest.
funniest. One of the funny. I don't ever say illest.
I don't
but,
either, and I don't care for it.
I say maybe illustratist.
Aha.
That's not a thing.
Illustrator.
Straightest. Who's the straightest?
Maybe John Wayne.
Oh, yeah. I bet he's a homo.
I could see it. He had
Come
tiny
on.
feet, by the way.
Is that true?
I saw his, they do the feet in L.A. on the cement.
Yeah.
He did feet and hands. His feet were the size of like a matchbox.
You're kidding.
Tiny.
Wow. I heard he had 900 pounds of dog shit in his belly. You ever hear that myth?
That one escaped me.
You never heard that?
Never heard the dog shit belly. That's a new one by me.
You never heard that? His bowels were full. Chris,
What?
can you look that up? Wikipedia or Google John Wayne shit or what do you
the
call
hell?
that? Feces.
Well,
yeah,
that-
evidently his organs were all fucked. He had like a long stretch, like a hot dog, you know, those sausage strings.
What the
It was
holy
fecal
hell?
matter. He was covered in fecal matter, this guy.
That's quite a Snapple fact. Is that under a cap?
I'm telling you, he had some poo built up in him. This guy was a kook.
I needed a colostomy.
Yes.
No, wait, colonic.
I can't remember which one, but
Colostomy bag.
yeah, one of those is a bag.
Yeah, bag is never good. Douche bag, colostomy bag.
Old bag.
Yeah.
Saddle bag.
Yeah, saddle bag.
I remember thinking Ace Ventura when he called her saddlebags. It was the funniest thing I've ever heard. I still don't even know what it means, really.
It's those things that hang on the side because your tits are so.
Oh, she's got big saddle, but she is saddlebags.
Oh, is that what he said?
He says, "Why don't you beat them, saddlebags?"
What?
Whatever.
It's saying you got them.
I see.
Yeah.
Chris, you got some info on the dog shit?
Yeah, so apparently when he got sick with cancer, he was taking medication that made him constipated.
Uh-huh.
And then so he kept eating, obviously, but, you know, it all got impacted, so.
Ah.
So how
Some
much?
truth
How
to
much
it.
weight? What kind of poundage are we talking?
I mean, the rumor is 40 pounds, yeah.
40 pounds.
But how would they
Close.
know, really?
You
That's
said-
an 8-year-old.
You said 900 miles. Close.
Well, 40 pounds, 900 miles. That's about the same.
I love that song. 40 pounds, 900 miles, and I keep
Ah.
feeding because I'm inconstipated.
The Proclaimers.
Yeah.
So anyways, here's the funny thing I saw.
Oh, here we
First of
go.
all, I got a new phone. You didn't even compliment
Oh,
me.
I didn't notice.
For a while, you were the only person I had texted. It was
Look at
fun.
that. Oh,
I had
that's
one
right.
person.
It looks great.
Yeah, so I got the iPhone 6. Too big.
That's what I was telling you.
It's in my pocket. I can't sit. It's
Yeah.
digging into my hip.
And you can't get a thumb up to the top either.
Yeah, my hips are off kilter. My thumb is stretched out.
Yeah.
I hate this piece of shit.
It's too big.
Too big. And so now, here's the thing. Before, I would be like, I'm looking at my phone too much. I'm going to put it in my pocket, put it away. It doesn't fit in my pocket, so I have to hold it.
Ah.
I got to get like a satchel or a backpack thing, like a
Right.
sword, where I stick it back there.
need a quiver.
Put it in my stank hole, like John Wayne.
There you go.
So I'm at the store, and this is really fun. I was in about to get on the train. Boy, a couple things here, a couple of exciting things,
Ooh,
and then
boy.
I'll pass it over.
No.
I'm about to get on the Amtrak after Christmas.
Love
I'm
an Amtrak.
I get it on Route 128, Westwood, Mass. And I go over. There's about a half hour. I eat Chipotle right before the train. I got about 45 minutes. I'm with my folks, and I'm talking about how I got to get a new phone. My iPhone 4 is shit in the bed. Everyone's throwing John Wayne shit at me because I got an old phone. They really
Yeah.
pick on you, these kids.
They do. People hate an old phone.
They tied my shoes together because I got an iPhone 4.
Oh, wow.
It hurt my feelings.
Did they do the thing where the guy kneels behind you and they push you and you fall
did
over?
that too.
Yeah, I hate that move.
But I said, if you're going to tie my shoes together, there's no need to have a guy crouching behind me.
True.
You can do one or the other, for God's sakes.
Crouching douche, hidden shoelace.
But they did both, and great flick. So anyway, so I get up out of the bushes after they threw me in there, and I say, I got to get a new phone. Enough is enough. I'm pulling the eggs out of my hair. And I go over to the Verizon store, and the guy's locking up. It's like 1 PM. We're like, why are you locking up? He's like, I was going to go get a donut and a pizza and a vibrator.
Yeah, what is this, the 40s? Be back in 5.
Yeah, he had one of those clocks with the thing.
Yeah, yeah.
He had one of those. So
I like to twist those and push them.
Yeah, make
Fuck
it look
with the
like
time.
he's taking like a long
Yeah.
break than he thought.
Right.
Oh, you spin it like a twister board.
Right.
Or sorry. I hated that game.
Hated Sorry. Twister was fun.
Twister was great. Co-ed naked.
Oh, baby. If it slips in, that's on you. Right hand red. Saw that labia. Left hand brown.
The right hand, right hand pink.
Woo-wee.
Woo, boy, I am dying over here. I hope you're laughing at home because I just pissed my pants and my shoe.
Yeah. Sorry. How about Boggle? Get out of here. Boggle.
What about
What a shit show that is.
the worst one, though? You know the worst one. You know what I'm going to say.
Hold on.
The one, 45 minutes of setup and 3 minutes of game, and it never worked.
Not Mousetrap.
Cat.
Mousetrap is a piece of
I
dog shit.
said cat.
You lose one piece of plastic, the whole thing's moot.
There's a ball bearing involved.
Yeah.
You need a ball bearing.
Right.
I was going to say catnip, by the way.
Catnip. I don't know that game. What the hell's catnip?
I was trying to think of Mousetrap. I was going to say catnip. Catnip is all I could think of. Mousetrap was a piece of junk.
That was terrible. It wasn't even a game. It was just like, can we get to the fucking guy in the tub here?
You got to set up and shoots and ladders was fun.
That was something.
Yeah, that wasn't bad.
Life was all right.
I hated
You
life.
get the car, you get the pink. The guy was blue, the girl was pink.
I know. I'd always pretend I was fucking the kid, and then someone would get mad.
Yeah, I always do the gay guy was pink. Some good times. Monopoly, that was a thing you never finished.
Well, sometimes I'd hit the dog. I always wanted to play with the little symbols. What do you call them?
Yes.
The emblems. I'd hit the dog with the car, and then I'd iron his face. And
Yeah.
stuff. That was fun to me.
Shit in the thimble.
I remember Dane Cook had a joke. He used to talk about how his family was so poor they had to use that iron. I used to
Oh.
think it was the funniest
That's
joke I'd ever heard.
hilarious.
And he's like, you know how long it takes to iron a shirt with one of those things?
That's
If
funny.
It gets too hot, it hurts your hand. I thought it was hilarious. Woo. Anyways, so I go in, and the guy's locking up, and we go, hey, can we get in there? I need a new phone. The guy's
Yeah.
like, come on in. So we're the only ones in there. So it's pretty sweet. So he's giving us the service, and then I got to catch an Amtrak train. So it's like defusing a bomb. I'm like, we got to
Yes.
get this phone in 30 minutes. Can you do it? He's like, I can do it. And so he's like typing and swiping. He's
I
got a
love that.
typewriter. It was really exciting.
I love living like that. I like using every minute in my life.
Yeah, it was so fun, and I'm panicking. I'm looking at my watch. My mother, she's freaking out. She fainted at one point. and
Yeah.
the guy's really trying to Google and oogle, and he's switching phones, and he's touching them together. He's masturbating.
Uh-huh.
And so then he's like, you gotta get a case. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I need the case. I
Gotta
drop
have
my
a
phone
case.
a lot. I don't even drink anymore, but I still drop my phone all the time.
Sure.
So I like the Otter box, which is the size of my fucking asshole.
Yeah, that's huge.
So I mean, look at the thing.
Good Lord.
So he said, you gotta get the Otter box. He's like, this thing is amazing. The other thing you gotta do is get a piece of glass over the phone to
That's-
protect it.
That's big.
He's like, you gotta do it. He's like, I'm not trying to upsell you. It's necessary. And he goes, look, I got it on my phone. Then he goes, watch this. He holds it out, shoulder height, drops it on the floor, picks it up. It is fucking shattered.
Get out of here.
Hilarious.
Holy hell.
The three of us just belly laugh in the guy's face.
Wow, that's like the guy with the bulletproof vest going, shoot me.
That's the joke I've been doing. Is that someone do that joke?
No, that's what I thought of.
Oh, we get the same joke.
That's crazy.
It hits, too.
All right.
All right. Great. That makes me feel good. We should kiss.
Yeah, boy, we should do a pod together.
Just generally, we should be kissing more.
I think so.
Anyway, so that he picks it up and it's just spidered, and the guy, his confidence was as shattered as the screen. It was
Sure.
hilarious.
Wow.
I feel like I could have just taken every phone in the house because he would have been like, take it, I'm sad.
Right.
It was like he had just been like, abused.
Yeah.
He was just like, I'm an idiot, it's my fault, I'm stupid.
Oh,
but here's
that's
the worst
great.
though. I bought the thing still.
Ah.
I'm like, I'll take two of them. You're adorable.
Right,
It's
right.
hilarious. But it was great. And then he tried to make excuses. He's like, I've done this a bunch of times. That's probably why.
Uh-huh.
It's like the guy that's like, I loosened it
Right.
after his girlfriend opens the bottle of Mountain Dew or whatever.
Exactly.
Been there.
Wow, that's so funny.
So he broke. I mean, it was fucking priceless. We couldn't stop laughing. Then my parents and I, we got in the car. We were all just dying. We pushed each other in the bushes, and I touched my mom's tits. And
Yeah.
it was really fun. And then I went to Starbucks to celebrate my new phone. I'm like, let me
Yeah.
grab a tea before my ride. And I feel this guy looking at me, and he's like, hey, Joe List. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, big fan of the pod.
Whoa.
Forget his name. I met two guys. I forget both their names. I'm stupid. One of them was Nick. That was the other guy. though.
Uh-huh.
I couldn't remember this guy's name, but he's like, I'm from Massachusetts, and I live in New York. And I go, are you on the 135 train? He's like, I am.
Uh-oh.
And so I know there was a little fear that I
Yeah.
was going to have to do a 4-hour podcast for him. But we ended up getting lost in the mix of the batch,
good.
whatever.
Love the mix.
But
I love getting lost.
but I was on the train with a fan. I
Ah.
bumped into him. And then how about this? Later the same day, and then I'll pass the old torch there, set you on fire.
No.
I take the Amtrak down. I go home. I stick things in my butt. I go out to the stand.
Yeah.
I get off at Union Square, and I'm walking, and this guy with a briefcase.
Uh-huh.
How fun is that? A briefcase.
I like
Mark.
a brief.
He's walking with a briefcase, and he stares at me. I keep thinking all these nerds want to fight me, but
Yes.
it turns out they're fans.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Hey, I'm a fan of the pod." And he goes,
Wow.
I go, "Oh, nice to meet you." And he goes, "I'm actually going to see you right now."
Whoa!
At the stand.
What's in the case?
And now there's no mix, crackers. There's no mix here because we're going to the same place.
Right.
So I was like, "Saddle up, partner. I'll walk with you."
Wow!
Saddlebag up.
You made his night.
So I don't know, he didn't seem that thrilled, to be honest.
That's a bummer.
Maybe he was shy.
He was a
but
fan of a different pod.
I was really shucking and jiving. I was sweating.
Of course.
I was urinating.
You got a tap dance for these guys.
Yeah, but I walked like 6 blocks with him, and he had a briefcase, and it was really exciting. I couldn't get over the briefcase. I feel like he was off put by it. I was like, "Well, that's a
Interesting.
hell of a briefcase. I want to get a briefcase."
Yeah, was it attaché? Was it a handcuff to his wrist?
What's attaché mean?
Those silver ones, you know,
Oh.
you open up, it's full of money.
Oh, I don't know that.
The silver ones, the ones you can throw around, they don't shatter.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Briefcase full of blues.
Mm.
So, anyways, we walked to the thing, and I was like, "All right, well, here you go." I walked him to the show like he was my lady,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Get down there," and it was packed.
Oh, I love a packed show. That's always fun. You can be like, here's the show. Now you get down there. I've got to prepare.
Well, what's nice about bumping into a fan on the way to the stand on Sunday is you get to give them the briefing
Right.
of like, "Hey, this is Sunday. I'm going to talk about things
Ah.
I wrote on the train I was just on with a different fan."
The briefcasing.
But anyways, it's a nice feeling to be bumping into fans everywhere. We
I
love
love
it.
it.
I mean,
Love
everywhere
it.
I go, we're bumping into fans of the show, and it's spreading. So keep spreading your butt cheeks and telling everybody about the show.
Yeah. I've been getting a lot too. A lot of love and a lot of Chipotle cards.
Yeah,
There's one there for you.
that feels good.
Yeah, and they're coming out. The fans are coming out to shows. It's great.
Yeah, it's very exciting, and I met some at Nick's Comedy Stop, and I had one come to Manchester. A few guys in Manchester were chanting my name.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's quite a thrill.
And it's cool because I was just in New Orleans for Xmas, and a lot of fans down there, and all the comics listen. It's just a normal thing.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that's a real treat.
Yes.
Knowing they listen.
Yeah, comics listening means a lot, but it means a lot that comics listen, but they're not going to buy a ticket. That's
true.
the bummer.
It's true, but hopefully
They'll quit.
Well, hopefully they'll quit, and you think if they're listening, it must mean it really is funny.
Right.
Because the comic wouldn't listen if it was shit.
You're right.
I hope.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was in New Orleans, and I got to give a shout out to all my guys. I was down there for Christmas, and I did the open mic, the famous Carrollton Station open mic. It's been going on for, 50, 60 years. Started by Lenny Bruce in 1948. And Cassidy Hanahan runs it, and Scotland was in town. Neil Stasi was in town.
Oh, I love those boys.
Andrew Polk's there, all the gang. And you get we have a comedy meeting, which I love. Everybody, all right, all the comics come outside, and they do this is the list. You're up here. We're gonna have a good show. I love a comedy meeting,
Yeah.
even though I missed it. I was late, and it was just packed out. There's no smoking in bars now in New Orleans, which was like a huge thing.
Mm-hmm.
That was a huge ban because that bar was smoky as shit. You couldn't see your own taint.
One of the happiest things in my life is that we came of age, like early on, they banned smoking.
Yeah,
Because the
Jesus.
first 2 years of doing comedy, I mean, I could have died. My mother confessed. She was like, "I was really worried about your future because you chose this line of work." And
Yeah.
we all would have fucking been in danger.
I know.
Secondhand smoke, it's terrible for you.
And then you stink, and your
You
clothes
stink.
smell, and your hair stinks.
Yeah,
It's
you're
brutal.
bad at comedy. And
Right. And the show was good, and I met a nice lady there, and at the show, and we had it was just so good. All the comics were talking, we were all laughing, just laughing outside about shit. Just nothing better than a group of guys just yucking it up.
hey, girls.
Well, there were no ladies there.
Yeah, I just don't want to hurt their feelings.
Oh, sure. I mean, I've yucked it up with many women in my life, but not that night.
All right.
But so I saw some old high school friends, a bunch of people came out, and then I met this gal. We start chatting, go back to her place. Quite a romp.
Aha, now you're rolling in the hay with the ladies.
Yeah, good times, good romp, great apartment. I love an apartment. And she was fun. It was a Christmas miracle. And I hung out with the parents. I gotta complain about my folks for a second here.
Your parents?
Yes.
I think meant hers.
I'm trying. No. We parted ways, and I I got the Prius. I got my mom's Prius, so I always have to leave.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So everybody's drinking. I'm like, I gotta go. I gotta drive to the burbs.
The Prius is fun. There's a lot of gadgets and numbers and
You got
graphs.
a screen, yeah.
There's a pie chart involved.
Right, and it's quiet. It just starts up like.
Yeah.
That's it. So yeah, I don't know if you have this. My parents will do a thing where they're trying to be nice, but they just end up being annoying. Like I'm sitting down for lunch. I'm like, yeah, eating hot sauce, and I'm like, my dad's like, oh, we got plenty of hot sauce. I'm like, oh, great. So I'm looking at all the hot sauces, and I find the one I want, and I sit down. I'm using the hot sauce, and my dad will just come up and put 10 more in front of me,
Ah.
and I'm like, I got the one. I already used it. He's like, oh, if you need some more hot sauce, so now the table is covered in hot sauce,
Ah.
and I already got one. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Too many options.
I see.
You know, I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna watch TV, and he's like, let me show you how to let me show you all the channels. I'm like, well, I'm gonna watch this, and he's like, look, this DirecTV is a million channels. I'm like, I got one,
Right.
but they keep going.
Interesting.
They also do a thing where they'll keep asking me questions after I've said I don't know.
Ah.
You know, my dad cannot remember who's in any movie. He goes, what's this guy? It's like Robert De Niro. He's like, what's he in? He's in something. What's that? What's his name? I'm like, Robert De Niro. He's like, oh yeah. But then if I don't know, I'm like, I don't know. And he goes, is he in Shawshank? I'm like, I've never seen the guy. Is he in Ghostbusters? No idea.
Yeah.
And it just keeps going. And you want to be like, hey, fuckface, I got nothing.
Right.
Ah, drives me crazy.
Yeah, you can't call your dad a fuck face.
No, fuck tits maybe, but
Yeah.
fuck Jerry. But yeah, so that was my whole weekend. I'm just want to go nuts. And,
Yeah, family's hard. I was watching Home Alone, of course, like I do every Friday.
Yeah.
And the old man, he says, how you feel about your family is a complicated thing. And I started crying. I was like, boy, Hughes just nails it. It's such a
Yeah.
perfect sentence. I'm like, it is complicated.
it's so true. Everybody's family's got fucked upness.
Well, and you love them because you have to, but they're
Right,
bizarre and you
right.
end up being a lot different. And I struggle with that because I don't drink anymore. And so for years I was like, it's the most fun. You got to meet my family. They're crazy. And I still love them. They're still fun. But it's different when you're not drinking. You're kind of like, what are you guys talking about? You buying guns?
Right.
What? What is
Right.
this?
Yeah, I gotta say, I was shitting the other day, just thinking, I can't believe you quit boozing. I'm so proud of you. It must have been harder for you to quit drinking than a lot of other people, just because it was so ingrained
Well, I'm
in
an
your life.
alcoholic, yeah.
And the family drinks so much, and comedy. You have so many drinky things around you.
A lot of drinkies. Well, yesterday it was 3 years.
Wow.
Yesterday. Yeah, it
How
was
about
a big,
that?
Celebrated, went out and hugged a bunch of people.
And you're good. You'll probably never drink again for the rest of your life.
Well, I'm taking it a day at a time, Mark. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, that's certainly the plan.
Yeah.
It's a much better life for me. It works for me.
Well, then I went through that horrible spiral of like, wonder how much I would get done if I quit drinking. And then you
Right.
start panicking.
Yeah, well, you're getting quite a bit done.
I'm getting a lot done, but
I was not.
Aha.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, me drinking and you drinking, work ethic, hustling, and success.
Mm-hmm.
They're not lining up.
Yeah. I don't know. I just get a little bummed out every now and then if I don't have a cocktail.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's
That's
normal,
the problem.
I suppose. Yeah.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, that got real. What's he in? What's that guy in? We're like watching The Matrix. It's Keanu Reeves. What's he in? He's in something.
Right.
Point Break. No, that's not it. Parenthood. No.
Mm-hmm.
Bill and Ted. No. And you got to find the perfect movie.
Jeez. Boy, that's-
Keanu.
Now, doesn't Google and IMDb kind of?
They want to figure it out on their own.
Oh, they're those kind of people.
So I can't even enjoy the movie because it's just like, what's that? Keanu Reeves. Keanu? Yes! That's what I said.
Jeez.
It never ends.
I can see that being frustrating.
It's brutal. I think it's a parent thing. Did your parents do that?
No, my parents don't say much. They're very quiet. That's what's
okay.
tough. It'll be the three of us just sitting there for 3 hours, and I'm like, this is nothing happening here.
I feel like your mom is a lady, chatty.
She can chat, but I used to think she was more chatty. But my mother doesn't want any kind of conversation of substance. I don't know if it's insecurity or she doesn't want anyone fighting. So if you try to talk politics or religion or morals or anything, she's like, no, stop that. We're here to have fun.
Oh, interesting.
So she doesn't want to talk any current affairs. She doesn't really watch the news too much, so she's not really on the current affair. I think, though, that it's complicated. I'm trying to figure these people out and myself out always. So
Yeah.
I think that maybe she's a little insecure. She feels not smart. I have the same thing.
Right.
So it's hard. And my dad, he doesn't say much, and so it's interesting. So I try to get movies and games going. We do a lot
Yeah.
of games and movies to kind of keep it fun. And then sometimes you start talking about policy or a feeling, and people, you're like, what? That's insane. And then you're
Yeah.
like, well, now I'm just sour. So
Right.
it's a weird, it's hard.
I had a similar thing with it, which is I think why we go to comedy, because you hear Chris Rock saying all this shit, and you're like, whoa! I'm not allowed to talk about that shit.
Yeah.
So it feels good to hear it.
Yeah, it's nice. So, and also I think a lot of times, not just comics, but people that aren't, I think a lot of times family, you get consumed by trying to make money. You have a mortgage and you have kids, and so you're worried about your kids and your mortgage and your husband. So you don't have as much time to sit. A lot of comedians or other people are single, and we don't have day jobs.
Right.
So a lot of times we just spend a lot of time just thinking and noodling
Yes.
and reading weird articles. So there's a lot more like, hey, I think that, and it's
Yes.
a 2-hour conversation about the prison system.
Uh-huh.
Well, my mother doesn't have the benefit to consider the prison system. She's like, I got 3 nieces, I got a job, I got to get to work. We have 1 car.
Right.
I'm borrowing a car. I got to borrow her car.
I think
my niece
they-
just shit her pants. My nephew's gay.
I think they like it that way, subconsciously.
I don't know. I think consciously they are also sometimes jealous and resentful of our lives because I'm out traveling and stuff, and I'm like, travel. I have no responsibilities. I'm joking around.
Well, we took the risk. It's that risk reward. Like, you could have done it too, Mom.
Of course, I think a lot of times resentment comes from that too.
Yeah.
They think, boy, if I should have done that, I'm not doing that.
Right.
So I'm talking about me personally with my family, but then maybe I'm just feeling that because I'm insecure and stupid. So it's a lot. It's
a
hard.
lot.
I struggled this holiday season. It's difficult.
I struggle as well, but I'm trying to make it work. I went back for Thanksgiving and Christmas. I'm trying to really be that good son.
Yeah.
And get to know the folks.
And they won't always be there.
Exactly. And they're good eggs. They're just annoying. And
Great eggs.
do you ever feel like you've surpassed the folks?
What do you mean?
Like you're better than them?
I
Oh,
don't
boy.
feel like I'm better than
Not
them,
better,
but
but
I feel like
You've made better choices. You're living a better life, and you're maybe happier. Uh-huh.
I don't know about choice, but I mean, I'm not my place to judge their decisions, but I think I'm probably generally happier, but I'm happier because they sacrificed everything they have, their lives,
Interesting.
to make me happy.
Yes.
So I hope that they feel the joy in that. But
Yeah.
my dad works a job he hates for 35 years and has given all of the money to having a house and a car and me playing sports and taking me to games. And
Yeah.
sometimes I feel bad that I feel disrespectful to my dad because I'm making jokes about him, but he's got his own problems. He was
Right.
raised that way, and he has that Irish Catholicism, and
Feel the same way.
the guy has sacrificed everything to make my life the way it is now.
Right.
And but I definitely think that I've certainly traveled a lot more. I think they're very sheltered, so I think I have more wisdom in a lot of ways.
A little more wisdom, a little more worldly.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I just feel sometimes I'm talking to my parents and I'm like, oh boy, this is not good. I could have a better conversation with someone else.
Of course, yeah,
Yeah.
and it's a struggle.
It's a bummer.
And that's happened with me because I was drinking heavily before, so I was like, that was a blast, but I'm like,
Right.
I was only thinking about myself.
Yeah,
I was having
yeah.
a blast. I don't even know what they were feeling or doing.
Exactly.
I'm like, they were I was hammered.
Sure.
So I was like, we all had a blast. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
they're probably like, what an asshole. He wouldn't shut up, this fucking retard.
But
Our
you didn't
son's
know.
dumb.
Yeah, that's so interesting. I don't know. I thought a lot of family, because I had to get away every now and then. We would just watch TV, and then they would annoy me, so I would just sit in my room and you just start thinking.
Yeah.
It was like being a kid again.
Well, I had that because Saturday came after 2 days of nothing but family, and I'm driving to the gig, and I meet up with Tom Dustin, and I'm like, we just start shooting and
Yes,
driving, and I'm
yes.
like, here we go.
Right.
I'm back. And it's hard. That's a hard thing to deal with, that you realize that, like, comedians become
Your real
you
family.
have, but that's natural with anything. Like, you spend more time, you have more in common.
Yeah,
Because
I
we have the
guess.
same experience every night, times 3. And all day, we're doing the same. We have the same goals and aspirations and influences and
But I think it's more than comedy. I think he's a type of guy. It's a type of guy. Like I could have a great conversation with a movie director or a writer. It doesn't have to be comedy.
It doesn't have to be comedy, but that's who you're going to have the most in common with
Well,
because
yeah.
we're living the same lives, essentially.
Right. But
And so,
I
that's-
wish I could have. I know some friends who can have those conversations with their parents.
Right. Well, now I've been getting into that with my family with the past. I try to get in there because I was too self-centered to ask my mother about anything, about her
Right.
feelings or growing up. So that's when we have good conversations now. I'm like, how did you meet Dad? What were you doing in college?
Yes.
You had 2 kids?
Yes.
What is it like being 30 with 2 children in a house? That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you can get in there that way.
Yeah, I get nuggets of it. I had a great talk about transgendered with my dad, and it was like, he had some great points. It was enlightening. I was like, this is gold. We should be doing this all the time. I wish we had done this the first 30 years.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do. You got to try to keep getting in there, I guess.
Yeah.
I try to communicate with my dad through other people now. Like my Uncle Greg is around, and I can talk to him.
Yeah.
I'm saying these things to my dad, but my Uncle Greg is like, that's crazy. That's insane. I feel the
Right.
same way. So you kind of have conversations like that. That direction, I guess.
I remember talking to my aunt, my dad's sister, and she was like, oh, man, that time your dad climbed to the top of the water tower and spray painted his name. I was like, what? Give me that story.
I had that too. My mother I think I told you this. My mother's like, the first time I met your father, he was streaking through the high school.
Yeah.
And I was like, I streaked.
Yes.
I stroked.
Strooked.
I straked a couple of dogs.
Yeah, the Strokes. Good
Straked
band.
dogs. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
New York City cops.
Isn't that interesting how it's just kind of in you? Like, you didn't even know he did it. You ended up doing it. It's in you.
Yeah. I don't care for her music.
It's in you?
I'm thinking of Enya.
Oh, Enya.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Yeah, not too nice. You didn't even get it, for God's
Well, I'm
sakes.
bad with language.
Oh, man, there was something. Oh, I just thought of something. Can I just tell a quick story? Because I keep
Please.
forgetting it. It happened 6 months ago.
Oh, great.
And it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen again. This was even better than the cracked
you
phone.
see?
Better than the cracked
All
phone.
right.
And I keep forgetting it, and every week it's on my list, and I don't get to it. So I just got to throw it out there real quick.
Lay it on me.
About 6 years ago, it was like a month ago, maybe it was 2 months ago, doesn't matter. I went to a college basketball tournament at Madison Square Garden with Micah Sherman. I think I might have talked about that briefly.
Yeah.
Maybe we talked about that off stage. I mean, off mic, whatever the fuck. But anyways, we're there, and you know the big screen? You get the big screen, they show the people, and everyone goes crazy, and everyone's
Yeah.
waving and dancing, and they take the tits out or whatever.
The Jumbo.
The Jumbo. Tron.
Yeah. Good book.
So we're at the, so Micah and I are there, and they're showing everyone, and people react. There's the kiss cam and the thing. And at one point, this woman has a baby, and the baby is recognizing himself on the screen.
Oh, wow.
So he's seeing himself on the screen, and everyone reacts to that. Did I tell this story before? So the baby's reacting to him seeing himself, which is a weird moment where
Yes.
you see like that moment begin.
Right.
Of like the first time a person has a fascination seeing themselves on TV or a screen. So the baby's like, that's me. He's pointing, and the crowd goes crazy.
Yeah.
Because it's a baby.
What a moment.
So everyone's going, yeah, baby! And we're all chanting baby. Everyone, the whole Madison Square Garden's sold out. It's packed. And
Yeah.
then, while that's happening, these three guys, a couple rows in front, they got like Duke shirts. They stand above and they block the baby.
Oh,
And they're
no.
going like, ah! And they're throwing up like the gang signs. Where
Yeah.
they're going, ooh, yeah!
Right.
And everyone goes, the whole crowd just goes, boo! And we start booing them. And then the camera pans out, and this is classic. So we're booing them. And then the lady lifts the baby like Simba. She lifts the baby above the guys, and everyone goes,
man.
yeah!
Yeah,
We all went
wow.
crazy again.
I got goosebumps.
So we're like, yeah! Boo! Yeah!
Yeah.
And then I kept getting big laughs because later on, like every time we went back to the big screen, I almost did like the Nick Griffin joke, bust out the monkey.
Oh, yeah.
I kept doing that. I was like, just show the baby! And then everyone would get laughs. And then they would show the baby. We'd all go, yeah!
Oh.
It was so classic, but it was like perfect comedic timing.
Yes.
Where it went from baby to three douches to like a lift over those guys' head.
Yes.
It was unbelievable. It was one of the coolest things I've ever been a part of.
So I love that there's no words. The mom just knew.
Yes!
They want baby.
And nobody passed it on like, hey, we'll
Right.
boo the guys, and then we'll
Yes.
cheer the baby. It just was a group mentality
Right.
of just pure joy.
I mean, the Duke guys lost out.
Yeah, but they
Fuck 'em.
stunk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're blocking the baby.
Don't block babies.
No baby block. That's good stuff.
What's a beta block?
beta blocker? That's people take those before like a TV gig.
Oh, really?
It blocks like the fear.
Oh, you shouldn't do that.
No, just ride it out. The fear is the good part.
Yeah, I had a Xanax in my pocket when I first did Letterman because I was afraid I was going to have a panic attack.
Whoa.
But then I didn't need it, of course. And then you're like, who wants to, what am I doing?
I'll tell you, I took a Xanax once. It works.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Oh my God. I got anxiety as well. I was walking around. I popped it. After like a half hour, I was like, this is a great day.
Yeah.
Things are good. I love being alive. I was like, this is what normal people feel like?
Well, yeah. Well, not to promote, it's not what normal people feel like, I don't think.
okay.
I think it's what people in fucking Xanax feel like.
Aha.
But not to promote drug use after we talked about my sobriety, but a couple of Xanax and a few beers is the happiest I've ever been in my life.
Oh,
Or a
talk to
Vicodin.
me.
Like I used to have a Vicodin, a 1.5 Vicodin, like 6 beers.
Hello, doctor.
Yeah. I've never felt as good, other than outside of sobriety.
Right.
Now I feel great. But boy, that's
a good time.
yeah, it is fun. Remember that time with our buddy? Don't say his name. We had our buddy, and we were taking Vicodin in the car. That was fun. I barely knew you, and you didn't know him at all.
That's right, Ralphie May.
And then you were like, I can't take him before the show. We were like, just take him. And you're like, all right. We kind of bullied you.
Oh, I forgot about that.
That was a fun night, but we definitely bullied you into taking drugs with us.
I mean, I enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah, we had a blast.
What show was that?
I was up in Maine. It was outdoors.
Oh!
It was real kooky.
I got it. Whoa, that was a wild romp.
Yeah, it was a silly one.
And we ate steaks at like 3 a.m.
We ate steaks, and we fought about our favorite comedians, and it was real fun.
That was wild. Man, that was a crazy excursion. We're out in the middle of the woods in a cabin, just shit-faced, 3 guys on pills, shit-faced, eating steaks, bitching about Ben Franklin.
And comedy, yeah, it was real. And Mark Twain.
Mark Twain, that was it, yeah.
Yeah, but it was great. And
then we woke up the next morning like, let's not speak of this, and we just drove home.
Right. He moved to Wisconsin. So.
There you go. So, yeah, I was just in Florida.
Yes, tell me about Florida.
This is another annoying parent thing, not to get back to the parents again, but so I'm flying out to 26 on a Saturday, going to Florida. 2-hour flight, 3-hour flight from New Orleans, nothing to squeam about. But I'm flying to Fort Lauderdale. There's no flights in Fort Lauderdale, so I got to fly to Miami and drive to Fort Lauderdale. So that adds an hour. Mm-hmm. So my flight's at 10:30 a.m. The night before, I go, shit, I got an email. And immediately my parents are like, what happened? Oh, my God. Everything's a production, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, this happens all the time. The flight got moved from 10:30 to 11:30. And they're like, well, if you're going to Fort Lauderdale, you're going to Miami, you're going to have to drive there. You're not going to make it. I'm like, the show's at 8. Take it easy. I got plenty of time.
Yeah, there's a lot of that where you're like, this is what I do every day.
Every day.
This is my whole job.
Yeah. My parents fly, twice a year, so it's a thing.
Right.
So I'm like, don't worry. It's 9 o'clock the night before. I'm like, don't worry. And they're like, well, what time do we have to go to the airport now? We got to get you there. My parents, if the flight's at noon, they want to get to the airport at 7 a.m.
Right.
You got to eat. You got to do this. You got to have a magazine.
Yeah.
So I don't tell them, but we're sitting there now. It's like 11 at night. We're watching a movie. Flight gets delayed again. I get another email. So now the flight's at like 1:30. Mm-hmm. So we went from 10:30 to 1:30. So now I'm getting into Florida at 4:30, driving there. That'll be 5:30.
Jeez.
But I'm like, I'll just tell them tomorrow morning. I go to bed. I wake up. Flight's delayed again. Now it's delayed till 2:30. So my mom wakes me up at 9, like, we gotta go. And I tell her, and she's like, oh my God. She's like ripping paintings off the wall and breaking them and just throwing vases against everything and flip it out. I'm like, don't worry, it'll be fine. She's like, you got to call the airline. You got to go down there. You got to do this. You got to sue your agent, all that shit. I was like, all right, take it easy. So I call the airline. There's like, we got nothing we can do. I was like, there's no other flights. No, there's nothing we can do. So I call the club like, hey, I'm just letting you know I might not make it. This is getting bad. So they're like, whatever. They don't care. And I was like, all right, cool. So now it's like noon, and we're getting worried. I'm like, let's just drive down to the airport. My mom's like, you got to drive down there. You got to do something. You got to get a new flight. And I'm looking at Delta flights are like $2,000, So we just drive down there. I go up to the desk, and the guy's like, oh, yeah, we'll just put you on this one. It leaves in 40 minutes. I'm like, oh, great.
I mean, that's nice. But
it's nice, but it was the whole shit show of driving down. There was a whole to-do.
Mm-hmm.
Brutal.
Yeah.
And it's just because they care, but you want to be like, back it up, whore. I got it.
That happens a lot, but people are being sweet and thoughtful. You have to remind yourself that they're trying to help.
Yeah.
But yeah, my mother has that. It's classic. It's a good quality, but sometimes you're just trying to vent. I'm like, I'm not looking for a solution. I just want someone to be like, that sucks.
I feel like if I ever do that with you, just tell me.
All right.
Because sometimes you'll be like, hey, this is really pissing me off. And I'm like, well, maybe this will help.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel bad that I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm just venting. Yeah.
All right.
But that happens sometimes. Yeah, people are like, well, we can buy you a lunchbox, and we'll put you on a train, and we'll send you to college. But I'm like, no, I just wanted to say she hurt my feelings.
Well, we should have a code word if you just want to vent.
Oh, maybe porcupine cunt hole.
Ooh,
dog.
That's longer than I hoped. Maybe, just put like, this fucking skank chewed me out and took a shit in my Chipotle, and now I want to kill her, and then just put a V at the end. I don't know.
A V? That's too close to a typo. It's got to be a couple of things. Maybe an emoji?
How about a ventilation system? Maybe an emoji.
All right. I kind of like porcupine cunt hole dog.
I like it too, but
maybe we could shorten it to
I'm gonna forget.
PP porcupine. Maybe it's just one word.
Porcupine?
Porky P C H D.
D. What's the D?
Dog.
Porcupine cunt hole dog.
You got a dog's mouth.
That's a good band.
Yeah, they were great. I didn't
Yeah.
like when they went all techno on their third album.
No. Yeah, when they switched to Porcupine Cunt Hold Cat.
Yes.
I didn't like that change.
Don't forget Kangaroo Bush.
Yeah, they were good.
Yep.
More reggae.
Um,
So, yeah,
Ray Homo.
I get to Florida.
Yeah, you did.
And Fort Lauderdale, fun town. You know, I had the whole thing where I flew in. They got the guy with the sign waiting. I love the way the guy, the
Jason
pickup.
Signs.
Yes, sign language. So the guy picks me up. Hey, Mr. Norman, and he always goes, "Let me get the bag." And I goes, "Yeah, I got it."
I say the same.
I can't give him the bag.
I don't want someone touching my bag.
Oh, for me, I just feel guilty. I'm like, you're picking me up. You got a sign. You've been waiting here. I can hold my
Yeah,
bag.
it's guilt also. Yeah, it just feels weird. You
Yeah.
gotta lift your bag. I'm 33-year-old man.
Right.
I can pick a bag up.
Now, are you tipping these guys?
It depends. I mean, some of them, they are paid for, so they do the tipping.
Well, they're all paid for.
But I mean, like, the club is tipping.
I hope so.
They have taken care of it.
Yeah, I just the whole ride. I'm just like, all right, I got a 5. Is that too little? A 1's not enough. A 10? Is that good? I'm freaking out the whole time.
Tipping's always confusing. It's always weird too. You're tipping someone. I'm like, well, I wanted to do that.
Aha!
I wanted to get my bag. So it's a
Aha.
weird. I
Right.
don't know. I try to tip. I don't know who to tip and what not to tip.
It's tough. Then he gets the bag out of the trunk and gives it to you, and you shake his hand. Then there's no money in it. It's a whole thing. The whole day is ruined.
Yeah, a lot of tipping is weird because it's like there's a weird thing. Like I think we talked about this before. The dry cleaner. A lot of people tip the dry cleaner, but I'm like,
What?
it's their business. Yes,
I didn't know that.
And people, I'm like, it's their business, and they set the price. So
Yeah.
I'm paying for the service. I don't understand where the tip comes in.
Right.
I'm paying you to clean my clothes, fold them, and put them in the thing, and you were like, that costs $17. So I'm like, well, here's $17.
Exactly.
But I tipped the barber, because I was always
tipped
told
the
to do
barber,
that
too.
But that feels weird as well. Like he's like, I have a business.
Yeah.
This is my service. I charge $17.
Right.
So why am I giving him 20?
The whole thing's kooky. And then some things you don't tip, like at Starbucks you don't tip, which seems like you would.
But they have a policy, I think.
Oh, they have a
against that.
Paul.
But maybe there's a bucket there or something.
There might be a change bucket.
There might be a Paul as well.
I think there is a buck.
I think there's a policy.
I think there's a bucket.
I just said policy like I've been hanging out in Boston for 4 days.
What was it?
A policy.
Policy.
But anywho, what are we talking about? Where are we?
Could be a guy, Paulie C.
Oh,
but-
Paulie C. Love him. Paulie Cicero.
All right, so I get to Florida.
He hated phones.
I make it all on time. It's all good. I get to the club. Great club. Florida, Fort Lauderdale Improv. Great club.
Ooh,
it's in the
baby.
Hard Rock. It's in Hollywood, Florida. So I made a bunch of jokes. I finally made it to Hollywood. Not what I thought. Blah, 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 yeah.
Oh, yeah, there must have been a fan that thought I was there as well. 'Cause
Uh-huh.
She tweeted at me saying, I was at your 7 o'clock show. And I'm like, I'm in Boston doing a 9 o'clock show.
Right,
so I don't know
right.
what you're talking about. But
Well, how about this one? I had a feature. This guy, Matt Broussard. Killing! This guy's like tall, handsome, great head of hair. Murdering! It's
Wow.
like, fuck! I had that panic, like, oh, it's sold out. I'm gonna wipe the floor with this room. And then he goes up and he was doing his half-hour submission, so he's bringing the heat, A game.
Yeah.
And I'm trying new stuff. I got a napkin with, dog porcupine cock on it, ready to try it. And he's just killing! And I had to, have that moment in the green room, like, all right, buddy, you got to headline this,
Right.
You got to step it up, and that was a real eye opener. Mm-hmm. But it was good. It was a good time. The headliner, you realize, all right, this is why I'm the headliner. I had a couple great lines. I did a fat joke, and this girl booed me.
Uh-oh.
She goes boo, and I was like, correct me if I'm wrong. Was that a boo or a moo? And that
Oh,
killed.
that's fun.
I had a bunch of those. And,
that's good stuff.
yeah, I had a lot of that, and it was just a great time, and we all had fun.
I bet you didn't utter anything else.
Oh, shit. I should have used that one. Damn it. So then after the show, met all the fans. I've been trying to go out there. I'm a big green room hider,
Yeah.
but I'm trying to go out there and meet people, and I did it, and that's a great Tom and his lady. Shit. she's
Dick
gonna
and
kill
Harry.
it. Tom and Melinda, I want to say. So they gave me a Chipotle card, one for me, one for you, and they gave me a little box, and there's a note in it. I sent you a picture of the note, and it said, look under the box.
Uh-oh.
Flip the box over. Weed and mushrooms.
What?
Yeah, they gave us drugs.
Oh, my God. Did
yeah.
you take the drugs?
I got them in my bag.
No kidding.
Yeah.
You flew back with the drugs.
On accident. I forgot I had them.
Oh, I believe it's by accident. But all right.
Envelope?
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's the best way to sneak drugs is when you don't know you have them.
Of course. Yeah, because you're not,
Not thinking about it. Right. So hung out with them. Tom gave me a couple critiques I wasn't crazy about. Thank you.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I hate the critiques.
Yeah, that's very odd behavior.
Yeah, he had a couple things on you as well, buddy.
Oh, jeez. On the podcast
On
or
the pod.
stand-up?
Pod.
What's the critique?
I'll tell you later.
Yeah, tell me later.
All right.
I don't want to give a vehicle to these people.
No, we love you, Tommy, and thanks for the gifts, but lay low on the tequila. So,
Hey, whiz, I don't want to be told what's what by these people.
a nice guy, nice fam, took a couple photos, him and his wife, good stuff.
That's the thing that's really changed about the future. I guess comedy was always like that.
Yeah,
But that's
I'm
not
sure.
supposed to be the relationship. The
I
artist
know.
performs, and then people enjoy it, and then that's it. Hey,
Right.
I'll tell you how you could have walked a little different there, De Niro.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like Travis should have had a limp.
yeah.
What?
I don't care for the mohawk.
Yeah.
Well, Albert Brooks has that great point where if you hang out with someone long enough, it will turn an insult.
Uh-huh.
And it's a great point. It's so true because like I'm hanging out, I'm like drinking with these guys, like let me buy you a drink. I'm like, all right, cool, here we go. And then minute 20 hits, and it's like, I wasn't crazy about that pregnancy joke. And you're like, damn it, we almost had a good exchange.
Uh-huh.
He calls it the compusult.
Yeah.
I love your act, but
Yes, it's weird, and I appreciate it, but it's the equivalent of me being like, "Oh, okay, well, I appreciate you saying that. I'll keep that in mind. That you
Yeah.
don't like whatever, but you're a little heavy in the waist. No,
huh?
it's like if I responded by being like, "You got to lose weight."
Oh, yeah, exactly.
well, your wife's
yeah.
got a weird face. You know
I
what
know,
I mean?
but for some we have to take it.
It's so strange. Why are
Yeah.
you're insulting me? I don't get it.
I know, and they don't realize it hurts. I will say this: I take criticism whenever people are like, "It hurts," and I don't like it, but I go, "Well, if they're going to compliment me and I'll take that, I should take the criticism as well."
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, maybe it's me just being a cunty cunt,
But it is weird behavior.
It's weird because it's not weird to say something complimentary because you're trying to make the person feel good.
Yes,
But to criticize them, you're trying to make them not feel good. That's
But-
where I have an issue.
I don't know if they're trying to hurt my feelings, but they feel like they have to let me know for some reason.
Yeah, I guess. And that's their
it's odd.
amendment, whatever bullshit.
Right.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
just, I wouldn't do that to them.
Yes, there
That's
you
the
go.
thing. I wouldn't tell you how to do whatever you're doing
I'm with you.
or insult you. So
Right.
I'd prefer you not do it to me. That's how I
Yeah,
try to live my life. But
I'm with you, buddy.
I don't even know the guy say. He's probably a sweet guy. And
Sweet guy and gave us drugs.
Yeah.
So if you ever want drugs, let me know.
Yeah, I will. I don't do drugs, so I'm insulted.
Aha! There you go. Critique. So hang out after the show. Go to it's in this Hard Rock. It's like a fucking compound. It's one of these like entertainment villages.
Oh yeah,
You
that's
know?
all America is now.
It's crazy. It's gross. It's like very Vegas-y. A lot of lights and noises and
Yep.
hip hop and
That's-
all techno shit.
That's who we really are as a people.
It's
these
a
days.
bummer. And these people have no creativity. Like they're like, we want to have fun tonight. Let's go to the entertainment village.
We go to the place that is built for fun,
Exactly.
by a large corporation.
Right. I mean, it worked out for me because the club was sold out. But like, you just walk around. All these girls are wearing just dental floss in their labia and just tucked in and like crazy 10-foot heels and breast implants out, which is fun to look at. But you're like, what do you guys do? What are you thinking?
Yeah.
And the guys have button downs that are unbuttoned to the bottom button and
See,
they're
but-
ripped.
Now we're critiquing them.
All right.
But
Well,
that's what our job is.
I guess, but I'm not going up to them and going, hey, button down, weirdo.
Yeah, you're not making it personal.
Yes,
That's the other thing. If they
exactly.
fall into that group, well, those are the breaks.
Right. Aha.
It's weird when we're not saying to their face, "Hey, Mary,
Yeah.
you look dumb."
So I end up meeting this fun blonde
Uh-oh.
and go back to her place. She's staying with her parents. She actually lives in New York, I think. She's staying with her parents, and she's like, it was one of those weird nights where like I had to keep kissing her, and she would push me away. I'd kiss her again, she'd push me away. Then I'd kiss her again, and she'd pull me in. The game of seduction.
Yes.
Yeah, cat and mouse.
Yes. The game of persistence.
Yes. Can be rapey, but you got to walk that line.
Yeah, sounds rapey, but I trust that you're not raping her.
No, I got a rapier's wit, and I see a therapist. But I am not a raper. Rapey? Ah, boy. So, go back to her place. She's like, my parents are sleeping. You gotta be quiet. I'm like, sure, of course. We're making out in the hallway, making out in the elevator on the way up, the whole thing. It's hot. And so she puts the key in that door, slides it open. Mom! front and center watching TV at like 4 a.m.
Oh, jeez.
Doors wide open. Mom's watching, Dr. Oz or whatever the fuck. And I'm like, hey. She goes, oh, hey, geez, Louise. Didn't know you were coming home. What's going on? You guys hungry? And we're like, and she's like, Mom, what are you doing up? The whole thing. And she goes, oh, I'm going to bed. She turns the TV off. She goes to bed. And we just go in the weird guest room and bang.
Wow. Fun.
Yeah. It was fun. It was hot. How about this? This is a fun moment. I was shit-faced. I get to the bedroom, and I take a picture of the bedroom while she's in the bathroom. I'm like, I'm not going to remember this moment because I'm drunk. This is a crazy moment. I just took a shot of like a hamper, a window, and a dresser.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
And then like 2 days later, I looked at it, and I was like, oh, my God. It all came back.
Wow, 2 days later. I was thinking like a decade later. You're like, oh, I remember that. You're talking a day later.
The
Jesus.
sauce. I got so much sauce in me.
A lot of sauce. What are we talking? Marinara, hot, Tabanero?
Penne alla vodka.
Oh, that's a good sauce.
So yeah, it was like all of it came back. It was a weird moment. I was like, shit, she started doing this all the time.
Oh, that's nice.
Just the visual of because you forget the little things, the hamper, the desk with the photos on it, the lamp.
Of course, that's why photos are so nice.
Yeah, brought it all back and a wild romp. She woke me up at 7 a.m. and she was like, you got to get the fuck out of here. And I was like, jeez.
Yeah.
So I'm like cracked out. I'm hungover. I'm a zombie. I go outside and I'm like, where am I? You have that whole thing like I'm hammered still. I'm shit-faced. I'm hungover and I don't know where I am in the hot Florida sun.
Should have taken some photos.
I guess so. I should have left some breadcrumbs.
Yes.
So I call an Oob and get the hell home and I sleep the whole day away.
Flotsam and Jetsam.
Woke up the next day, hungover. I said, you know what? I'm getting a tan. Do I look tanner?
Danny Tanner.
DJ.
Michelle.
Stephanie.
I think that's it.
I guess so.
The rest weren't Tanners.
Yeah.
They were Katsopolises and Couliers.
Well, he was Coulier was the real name.
Gladstone.
Well, he was a Katsopolis and a Cochran.
Originally, he was Cochran for a moment. It's kind of like Kessler and Kramer.
Why was he Why would
he
they
was
change
Cochran
that?
for a year, and then Stamos wanted him to be more Greek.
Oh!
He got a little star power, and he said, hey, I'm not going on with this until he's Greek, because I'm Greek. And,
I like it.
So they changed it to Katsopolis.
I heard that on the set, the mom of the Olsen twins would keep the kids away from Danny, from Bob Saget.
Oh, really?
He'd just walk around going, this fucking cunt and these Jews and all these fucking blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, he was just, cigar smoking, trash talking.
Right.
Yeah. So I went to Chipotle, walked to Chipotle. I love a good pilgrimage to a Chipotle in a new town. Mm-hmm. And, swiped up the card, did it up. It's cheaper other places.
Of course, yeah.
I always forget that.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, so that was fun. And then I hit the gym. I couldn't believe it. I hit the gym. And sorry, this is all bullshit. All right, so how about this? This is something I saw at Chipotle. Jeez, sorry, I'm rambling.
What are we turning into here?
I'm turning into my father. I saw
hit the gym, I swept my floor, and then I stopped at a red light.
Right. Put one shoe on at a time. So I'm at Chipotle. The line is crazy long. There's this guy fidgeting like, he's got like 4 burritos going, one of these guys. And he's like, okay, put hot sauce on that one, and then whipped cream on this one, and cherries on that one, just going nuts. And he kept running back to the table, and his kids are sitting at the table telling him what's what.
Yeah.
Get the kids up to the window.
I hate that.
It was the whole line was backed up.
That's what, I can't have a kid. I feel like I'd just be putting everybody out my whole life.
Yeah, I wanted to stare. I stared down these kids. I was like, get the fuck up and help this guy.
Yes.
It's terrible business going back and forth.
You want to knock their heads together.
Yeah. And one of them had a mohawk, which really bugged. He had one of those haircuts where it was like a mohawk with like a mullet in the back. Like a soccer player kind of thing.
Well, he's a kid. What are you going to do?
It really bugged me.
Yeah.
So the dad, and I feel bad for him. He's holding up the line, but and the cashier hates him. The lady behind hates him. And she made a burrito wrong. He's like, no, we got to redo it. He's allergic to jizz and all this shit. It was a whole to-do.
How do you find that out?
Yeah.
Sounds like this dad's coming in his kid's face.
The kid's just sitting there. What is that? Go help him.
Well...
And then he got a bunch of stack of cups, and then he was like, what do you guys want? And they're like, I want Sprite. I want Sprite and Coke and all that. So he's filling it up. Like, what are you crazy?
I hate these people at Chipotle that are covering all the sodas. They stand broad-shouldered.
There's a lot of that.
Here's what I do. When I fill my Coke, I extend the arm. I got a long arm.
You got a hell of an arm. That's a gangly.
I'm on the sidewalk.
Yes.
Filling my Coke with my gadget arms.
Uh-huh.
And some of the people, they're fat and they're broad, and they're taking up 7 fucking
I
soda
know.
dispensers. I
They
said, get
love
out of
it.
here, broad shoulder,
Right.
you douche.
You're Mr. Fantastic.
I'm over here like this, leaning out.
Yes.
like
I've
I'm playing mailbox baseball.
I've seen you do it.
Yeah, I go, you want Dr. Pepper? Here, the Dr. Pepper is open. The
Right.
Coke is occupied. I'm over here.
Yes.
That's why I was born with long arms.
Uh-huh. So, do the last show, Sunday night, 2 shows, both great.
Mm-hmm.
Great club. Doing the handshakes, meet a lady after. We make out, and got the car BJ.
Oh, that's
Yeah, she's
fun.
like, I don't want to have sex. I can't bring it back. I mean, I want to, but blah, blah, blah. And so I had a fun move. We were making out in the car, and I was like, what's this button? And I leaned myself all the way back, and I go, it's hot in here. And I took my pants off. What do I care at this point? I'm in Florida. fucking-
Right.
And we're in the parking garage on like the 18th floor. I got a nice view of the city. I lean back, I whip it out. I go, I need some air. And she just starts blowing me.
Boy, that's like a Capra film.
Is it?
Nope.
All right.
But,
I like Capra. He's good.
yep. Mr. Norman goes to Hollywood.
Right. Yeah. It's just got a beach. And I put it away. And she goes, I kind of like it out. And so my dick's just out and we're talking about politics.
Oh, well, that's off-putting.
I thought so, but she was like, I like it out.
It's wet and drippy. Now it's stacking up.
Well, I never finished.
Oh, no finish.
Nah, I'm not a good BJ finisher.
Oh, interesting. Well, I guess you're distracted by the birds and the
Also,
seagulls.
people are walking by going, how about those jets? And I'm like, God, jeez.
It seems like down there there'd be dolphin fans.
I think they were talking about the planes.
Oh, they came in late.
yeah, exactly.
How about this? I got into beef on the train. I was talking about the train earlier. I forgot to talk about this.
Please.
I had an outburst. I couldn't hold it in. You ever have that? You don't plan on saying a thing, but you're like this. Blah!
It just pops.
It popped.
Yeah.
Maybe that, yeah. I had a pop. This woman, I get on the train. It's packed. It's the day after Christmas, 2 days after Christmas.
Yeah.
Busiest travel day, whatever, bullshit. So I'm on the train, and it's packed. And this woman comes up, and she's got her, all her luggage and whatever. And her face is painted. And she walks up, and she walks up to the conductor. She's like, there's no seats on this train.
Uh-huh.
And the guy's like, there are seats on the train. And she's like, there's not seats on the train. I just walked up the whole length of the train, 5 cars, there's no seats. And he's
Yeah.
like, well, I'm telling you, this is the conductor. He's wearing a hat and a vest. He's
Yeah.
like, I'm telling you, there's seats on the train. And she's like, what do you think, I'm crazy? She's like, look at these people behind me. You think we're all crazy? You think we're making this up?
Uh-huh.
And he's like, the guy is the conductor of the train.
Sure.
He's like, lady, we have 7 cars. There's 72 people per car.
Yeah.
He's like, we've had 330 tickets sold. He's like, you can do the math. He's like, I know how many people are on the train.
Right.
And she's like, I don't think you do, because I just walked 5 cars back, and there's not a single seat. And
Huh.
and the guy's like, lady, there's seats on the train. I'm
Yeah.
the conductor of the train. And I just snapped. I was like, he works for the train.
Wow.
He's on the train. And then she looked at me like I'm an asshole, but I'm like, what? I started laughing.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is a hilarious argument.
Right.
This guy's whole existence is counting the people on the train. And she's like, we went 5 cars back. And the guy goes, go 6 cars back.
Ooh.
Which was hilarious. It's just bananas.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm the one scanning the tickets.
Yes.
This is my life. This is probably
Right.
your first time ever on this train.
Right.
What a dum-dum.
That's annoying.
Like, a better thing would be like, hey, I can't seem to find a seat. Can you tell me where
Yes.
the seats are?
There you go.
He's aware.
Right.
Just tell me, where's the open seat?
Ah,
I
God.
hated that woman.
That's crazy.
It's so strange, though, to argue with someone.
Yeah, exactly. Those seats get dicey though. They got the guy with the luggage on the seat,
Yeah.
or the guy who sits on the outside seat because no one wants to go. Can I get in there?
I'm that guy, but I don't do it because I just urinate a lot. But this was so packed. People were like, "Is that seat open?" I was like, "It is." I just want the aisle.
Oh, I like the inside because you get the plug.
You get the plug, which is nice, and it's a beautiful view. But
Yeah.
I had a coffee, and
Yeah, you're a
so
whizzer.
I wanted the outside. But what happened? This is really what happened. To tell you the truth, I sat next to a girl. This is what I do. I know it's going to be packed.
Yeah.
And I have to sit with someone, so I find a petite girl.
Good move.
So I have a maximum amount of room.
Right.
And dudes, they breathe heavier,
Yeah,
they fart, they
yeah.
get boners.
I'm with you.
So I found a nice petite gal, and she was in the corner. And then it would suck. I was like, great, I got my spot. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to worry about who's sitting next to me. And then she got off in Providence. First stop.
Genius. Look at you.
But not genius.
well, you nailed it. You got lucky.
Oh, I got unlucky.
Why? You got the open seat.
Because she leaves, but another person comes. So now I have the new anxiety of like, am I going to get a fat pig? Is someone that stinks? Some guy that's weird? Someone wants to talk to me?
See.
I had the partner I wanted.
Yes.
She was quiet, headphones, little. I had the armrest.
Yeah.
She leaves. Now I got to wait for some newbie.
I see.
And there's that anxiety that every single person, I'm like, I hope it's not him.
Yeah.
I hope it's not that guy. I don't want to be that guy.
Isn't that funny?
But I ended up getting lucky again because this time it was an old woman, also
Ooh,
petite. And she's an
perfect.
old woman. She's going to be dead by the time this podcast comes out.
Yeah.
So she went in there and she nestled in and she was fine. So I got lucky. I was fine.
That is nice. Yeah.
A lot of the anxiety you have in life, I think Mark Twain had the quote, I've suffered a great many hardships, most of which never happened. Or Tom Petty, as sure as night follows day, most things I worry about never happen anyway.
Ooh-wee.
Those are my two big ones.
That's good stuff.
So anyways, oh my God, look at the time. Did you have another Florida?
No, I just wanted to say, people talk about how you shouldn't profile. I think that's the number one profiling is when you're sitting on a plane going, hope it's not that guy. When they're walking towards you.
Yeah.
All you're doing is profiling. You're going, give me the skinny Asian cunt.
Yeah.
I don't want the fat Samoan weirdo.
Well, a lot of this, it's racism, it's prejudice, it's insensitive, but we've talked about this before. It's data.
It's
I'm
data.
using data.
Yes.
I've spent time with 1,000 fat fucks.
Yes.
That have weird mustaches and they smell off-putting.
Yes.
So I don't want a fat person. They sweat more, they smell more, it's harder to clean.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
data. That's not prejudice.
No.
I'm
no.
not saying all fat people smell, but I don't want to take the chance.
Well,
I'm using data from my life.
It's the same with animals. Not to get dicey, but you see a lion walking down the street, you go, I'll turn around.
I've seen videos of him crushing people, ripping people. Yes.
Yeah, and people go, well, it could be a nice lion. It could be, but I've seen lions eat people's faces.
Yes. We've talked about this before.
I know.
Yeah.
Everybody just wants to call. I have a theory that people want to call you racist because they have racist thoughts, because we all do. So they call you, they feel better.
Right. Well, I have a thing, but like I'm saying it's not racist. I mean, if that's racist, I guess I'm racist or prejudice,
Yeah.
whatever you call it. I mean, I'm
Right.
talking about fat people here, but yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
But it's everything else. If you do it, it's not prejudice. I feel like I'm gonna fly on Wednesday because it'll be less busy than Friday.
Right.
I'm taking data. I'm like, I'm gonna
Yes,
sit next
exactly.
to a petite girl because she's less likely to smell than this fucking guy who's got pimples and weird folds.
Right. Exactly. I'm with you. It's, I always say, people say you're racist, and I go, I am by your standards.
Aha.
But I'm not. But by your dumb bullshit, I am.
Right. Well, yeah, I'm not.
It's like saying, hey, you grabbed that guy's ass, you're gay. Well, I guess by your standards, I am gay, but I'm not gay.
Right. I'm certainly not disliking anybody based on
No.
things that they can't control. Right. But I also am like, oh, that guy looks like a guy that stinks.
He looks like he stinks. He's got a boombox on his shoulder, and he's wearing clogs.
Aha.
All very loud things.
Clogs are loud.
Or he's eating a tuna melt. I don't want to sit next to a fat tuna melt weirdo.
Hate the tuna melt.
Yeah, who thought of that?
That happens with like sometimes Indian folks too. They bust out those foods that smell real strange.
Oh, you Indos. Get out of here with that curry.
Is it curry?
It could be anything, but that's their dish of the land.
Wait, you ever watch that Steph Curry?
He can shoot.
He is something else. He can do it all. Is what
He
he
doesn't
can do.
stink.
No, he doesn't. Well, maybe after the game he smells
Well, I
weird.
guess so, but he's so cute.
He is cute. Oh, well, we better wrap it up here.
Oh,
What are
yeah.
we doing?
We got to get some dates. Where are you going to be at there, Fatty?
I forgot about the dates. I forgot to go get the dates.
I forgot. You got a wall calendar.
Yeah, I do have a wall calendar. I got, oh boy, the podcast. Tell a friend about the podcast. February 27th, Buffalo Helium. Moon Tower Festival. You'll be there.
Oh, yeah.
Austin,
I'm with you, buddy.
Texas. Come down to that. End of April, third week in April, the 20, whatever it is.
Yeah.
21st, 22nd, I think it is. And, what else do I have? I got City Steam in Hartford coming up in March. Wiley's in Dayton. I got, Madison, Wisconsin. That's not till May, I think it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm all over there, but check me out. Check out. A great thing you can do is go to my Facebook fan page, Comedian Joe List.
There you
and
go.
Instagram at Joe List Comedy.
Yes. Check out those photos, folks.
Yeah.
And I got to plug this one. I'm doing a one-off in Charlottesville, Virginia, at the place called The Southern. It's this great rock club out there. I looked at the website. I got some great acts coming through. So let's fill that room up, folks. The Southern, Charlottesville, Virginia, on February the 26th, if you're in the area. And then I'll be at the Laughing Skull in Atlanta in March and some other shit. Wiley's in Dayton. How do you like Wiley's?
I love Wiley. I haven't been there since the new ownership, since it was, what's his toes there?
Okay.
Rob. But I love the room, and I love the city of Dayton. And the Oregon district is so beautiful. I really love it.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, folks. And it's all been lunch. We'll see you on the road. And check out Conan with Joe List. Or is that over?
I think that was yesterday, probably.
Well, how about that, Conan? Write him a nice comment.
Yeah, write a nice comment. And, be kind to each other out there. We're all in this together, for God's sakes. Let's take care of each other and be nice and donate to people that need it. And give someone a hug and tell them you love them.
Hallelujah. And stay black.
Yep.
Take it easy.
Bye-bye.
Take us to hell.